always trying to paint a picture of who I was. So this morning we did 10 miles.
When I'm with
I made pizzas last night. It was good. We're gonna do some pre-run fuel. There's a couple chunks in here, but that's okay. I feel like I never really truly lived how I authentically was made to live here on planet Earth.
It's clouded and filled with doubt.
Okay, so pre-run, we are gonna do 2 scoops of GNM. Honestly, I probably need to get a new tub actually. This one's empty. But every day pre-run, we do 2 scoops of GNM, which ends up being 40 grams of carbohydrates, and they're super easy to digest. Cluster dextrin carbohydrates. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open up Freshie. For me, definitely recovery starts with fueling correctly. So 40 grams of carbs going down the hatch. Cheers. All right, we are 1.5 weeks, so 10 days out from my race in Zion 100, and we're in taper. So officially in taper around 2 weeks out from my race. So we're not really building fitness at this point, but we're trying to maintain, slowly decrease volume over this next week. So today we just have 10 miles easy. So I'm just gonna pop on my road shoes. We're gonna hit the road, 10 easy miles, keeping things really light and then fueling along the way. So I'm stoked to take y'all along for it. While going through chemo, I felt like the world was running 1,000,000 miles an hour, and the only place where I felt a lot of solace and being able to reflect on what my life was being in the mountains. I knew in Ironman training that I no longer wanted to just be inside. It's a lot of indoor training, a lot of time in the pool, a lot of time on the trainer, and I just really missed this rugged outdoor experience that I got from mountaineering. And so that little 0.2 mile hike, who would have known that it would turn into this crazy escapade of adventure and really pushing my boundaries. Yeah, by far. Yeah. It's just scary. We haven't been in it at all.
Yeah.
And I know it's different heat, but when we were running in Austin, I was like burning up. I was like, This is so hot. But it'll be good. So we are now gonna go hit the trail. This is something that I've been incorporating all throughout prep, is doing doubles. So I'll do like easy road running, and then in the afternoon or a little bit later, I will do trail running. So, and I've also had huge trail days as well. So it's kind of a mixture of multiple different things. But for me, I like to incorporate trail in taper because it keeps my body used to being on trail. So we also have some newer race shoes that I wanna make sure I get a couple more miles in. But running on the trail and running on the road are totally different things, right? On the road, you don't really have to think about where your feet go. It's pretty smooth and reliable, versus being on the trail, it requires a lot more proprioception, so the brain connection to where your feet are going, and just more active movement. So we're gonna go do that, keep that kind of coursing through 10 days out from Zion 100. I'm excited.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna shoot you right down, right off of your feet. Boom, 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 boom.
I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that I view obstacles and challenges, specifically my cancer journey, as an opportunity to grow.
Boom, 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 boom.
I've never been a victim of my experience. I've always viewed it as God giving me this like gigantic challenge in life to be able to really grow and impact a lot of people.
Boom, 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 boom.
This morning we did 10 miles, which for me, coming off of basically doing 16 miles or more a day, does feel like a reduction in volume. So that's really what we're focusing on. The first week of taper and the second week of taper will be even lighter volume. But after the 10 miles, we're really hammering in recovery to ensure that we're not increasing excess fatigue. So really honestly focusing on that this week while volume is still relatively high, and then next week we'll see kind of the volume continue down. But some things that I'm doing that I feel like are helping me with both mentally and physically for Zion is honestly just remembering that all of the work is done. But being removed from my identity of being an athlete, my identity of being, in the Army, I had to challenge myself to figure out kind of what my individual purpose was. Of the time I don't want to do it. It's 100% something that I have to eventually talk myself into, but if I tell myself that I can do this hard thing every single day, then it just makes the other choices that I have throughout the day so much easier to make. The balance of juggling so many different things that were pulling me a million different directions that I think just really challenged my ability to endure. When I first got off of crutches, I couldn't put a shoe on for like 3 months. And it was the most painful and excruciating thing ever to experience, to put a shoe on for the first time after getting out of my boot. But as soon as I was able to put a shoe on, I decided that I was gonna do the one thing that my doctors said I would never do. My doctors told me that this cancer diagnosis would lead to my demise. Word for word, this will lead to your demise.
All right, we officially got our bib. We are 5084. This is what we are racing in, and we're also visualizing our finish. We will be here on Sunday morning, hopefully sooner rather than later. We need to get out of the sun, off the feet, chill for the rest of the day, get some more carbs in, good electrolytes in. But yeah, this is where we'll be. Kind of surreal, isn't it?
So the race just started. She's feeling nervous, excited to get it going. She was just like, I just got to start running. We did a group prayer, everybody's in high spirits. She seems to be a bit nervous, but she's excited to be out there and starting and running. So.
It feels cool right now. It's like so nice. Soaking it up before it gets hot.
I think going through that secondary cancer, after going through a crazy first cancer, I realized that I wasn't utilizing my life the way that I think God provided me the clarity to be able to do so. And I wasn't living life authentically to who I was. And I do truly feel like I have found that. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a little Q&A post Zion 100. So we finished the race on Sunday. It is now Thursday, so I've had a few days just to recover. I was going through it, y'all, like absolutely going through it. Mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the things. I was absolutely, honestly, wrecked. But as that's to be expected after running 100 miles through the Utah desert in literally the hottest conditions that I've ever experienced, it was an absolute whirlwind. But I'm gonna take you guys through a full day of recovery, talk about some things, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. The thing that went really well in this prep was just the sheer amount of volume that I was able to do and having that be displayed in my race. So I definitely felt a lot stronger in stretches of long mileage or long climbing. I just felt really strong in that. Once the sun went down, I felt honestly so much stronger. That stretch of really hot between like 11 a.m. and 4 p.m.-ish, where it was like 90 degrees, that stretch was so incredibly difficult for me because it was the one thing that I wasn't able to train for, which was the heat. So because in northern Utah, it's been literally snowing, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, and even lower than that over the past 5, 6, 7 months, I feel like that factor absolutely played its course in my race. Second aid station, so mile 27-ish, second place female, and I was feeling so unbelievably good. I was moving really well, I was fast, I was feeling really well fueled, and my left foot hit a piece of slick rock and completely shot my leg backwards and overextended my hip, and I heard a pop. I felt a lot of pain in my left hip and honestly like pulled part of my knee as well, and I instantly was like, oh my gosh, what just happened? My immediate thought was, like, am I okay? Was that like a serious injury? And I scraped up my hands, fell completely on my face, and I got up and I continued to hobble forward for the next couple of miles. I texted my husband, who was crew chief, and I just said, hey, this just happened. I'm taking things a lot slower. I'm trying to recover. I'm okay, but this is something that we're gonna have to deal with for the rest of the race. So a lot of pain in my left hip, and I don't know 100% what I did, but I do know that there was a lot of pain, and then I therefore compensated on my right side. We are en route to go get our IVs at a place called Fika, which is a little local IV shop. So Tyler's gonna come with me. He's gonna get an IV too. I'm very excited. I feel like this is gonna make me feel so much better. Stoked about it. Just in general, I think this mentality of getting really excellent at something and pushing your body and every single day dedicating yourself to something bigger than you has gotten me miles ahead of where I think I could have been if I didn't have that push. Okay, so IV is done. I got amino acids, vitamin B, 2 times glutathione, carnitine, CoQ10, and I think that's it. I'm not sure what else there was. Those are the bases of it. I love glutathione, that's my favorite, but I think the amino acids are really gonna help me with recovery, so fingers crossed that helps, but IV is done for the day. When I think of my story and my ability to endure, I think about how important it is to harness the power of the mind. I think the mind is a muscle that if we work it out, it becomes stronger and it can work for us instead of against us. So we are currently at physical therapy. We are getting some hip treatment and lower knee, I guess, back of knee, calf treatment. So fingers crossed this helps me recover from my injuries a little bit faster. Having to recover from surgery at the same time as also having to do chemo, hand in hand, I think these two things proved to myself how strong I actually was. And you know, I've grown up playing sports, and in the Army, like I knew I was really strong. But this was a totally different experience of experiencing actual struggle and actual pain that I'd never experienced before in my life. The ability to endure something mentally challenging and physically challenging like chemo, and also this excruciating pain adjacent to one another, just built up this strong mentality that I think has gotten me exactly where I am today. In utilizing my story and this crazy experience that I've had to face, I really truly feel like my purpose in life is to inspire others to live their most authentic life, to challenge themselves, to break through barriers, to say, screw the odds, I'm gonna continue to do this. And I think the world needs more hope. And I think the only way to develop hope is through endurance. It's literally by building up character over time and going through hard things. And I do think hope comes from continuously being challenged, and I hope to be able to provide that to the world. I hope I am providing that to the world, but it's so clear to me that is my purpose here on Earth.